and welcome back to my channel for another video. Today's video is brought to you in partnership with The Good and the Beautiful, and today I am going to be preparing our last science unit from The Good and the Beautiful for our homeschool year. If you guys are new to my channel, we use The Good and the Beautiful for a lot of curriculum in our homeschool, but we use it for science as well. Now, I get asked all the time, how many science units do I do per year? This year this will be our 4th unit for the year. So if you average that out, that's about 1 per quarter. So that's about 1 science unit taking around 9 weeks. We do science generally 2 times a week. And so that's just a little bit of information for you guys. And I use it for all of my kids minus my oldest daughter who is in the 8th grade, just because she is wanting to take some more advanced science courses in high school. And so we needed to get her prepared with a year-long study of something else. For a foundation for what she's going to be doing. So I use The Good and the Beautiful Science for my 7th grader, my 5th grader, and my 3rd grader. And we are in our last quarter of this homeschool year, so we were ready for a new science unit. So I have a few on my shelf that I wanted to do, but I asked my kids which one did they want to do, and they voted. It was a 2 to 3 vote, so one person was not happy, but good thing they come around easily. And my kids chose to do ecosystems as our last unit of the school year. If you've been following me this year, you know that we did mammals from The Good and the Beautiful at the beginning of the year, and I cannot recommend to you guys enough to pair those 2 together. So do mammals and ecosystems, one right after the other. Now, you might be thinking, well, why didn't you do that? Ecosystems wasn't released right after we were done with mammals. It's one of the newer releases from The Good and the Beautiful. And so I did space science in between mammals, space science, and now ecosystems. So this is gonna be our last unit of the year, and I am going to prepare it, and I wanted to show you guys how I prepare my science units, just how simple it is. It is 12 o'clock right now. On a Sunday, we just got back from church, and I'm just getting things together for the school week. This has been on my to-do list to tackle, and so I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna show you guys just how fast it is, because homeschooling doesn't have to be daunting, and it doesn't have to take hours and hours of prep work. I will prepare my unit one time before we get started, and then I'm good to go. So I'm gonna take you guys through that process with me. First step is going to be cleaning out my binder of our previous science unit, and then I'll show you what I do next. But the first step is to clean out this guy right here, this giganto binder of everything that we covered with space science, because now I'm going to be putting ecosystems in there. So that's just the way that I do it. I know a lot of homeschool moms, especially moms who have kids that are younger that maybe aren't doing the units with them, they'll go ahead and put them in a binder and keep them on their homeschool library bookshelves because they know they're going to be coming back to them in the future. I don't do that because my youngest is in 4th grade, and so I don't know that I'm going to go back and repeat units. That's just specific to my household. But if you've got younger kids, then you can create a binder for every science unit and have a beautiful collection of The Good and the Beautiful science units in your library. I don't do that, and I just explained why. So step 1, we're going to clean out the binder. Emptied out the binder. I started using these folders this school year, and they're like the best thing ever for The Good and the Beautiful science units, because you can put in the vocabulary cards and the mini books right in front of the lesson that you're gonna do, so you don't have to rummage through them. Don't ask me why it took me 3 years to have someone recommend these to me, but I'll link them for you guys on my Amazon store in case you wanna set up your binder this way. So it's all empty. So now what I'm gonna do next is take my new unit, put the cover in the front of the binder, and separate things that go in the binder, things I need to make photocopies of for multiple kids to use, and then things that I need to cut out. So I'm gonna create 3 separate piles for that. Gone through the unit and separated all of the lesson extensions and sheets that I need to make photocopies for, the things I need to cut out and assemble, and then just the actual lessons that I'm gonna be reading. I'm gonna start with 3-hole punching all of these and placing them into the binder. And then the next thing I'll do is I'll go through and I will cut out the things that need to go, as well as the mini books, and then I'll place them in the corresponding folder that's in front of that lesson.
I can hear you say, let the sun shine on the broken, let the summer come again, let the heat find all the frozen, let the force in. Sunshine on the broken, let the summer come again.
So now I've got my binder all put together. I have all of the vocabulary cards, mini books, everything prepared in here. I have the lesson extensions right down here in a stack because I only have one child who does those. So I'll just place those directly in his science journal for him to do. And then here are the stacks of beautifully colored worksheets that go with the lessons that I do need to make photocopies of. But before I go upstairs, I'm gonna finish everything that I do downstairs. So a lot of times our science units are what correlate with our field trips and our outings. And even though things are still limited where we are, a lot of this stuff is found in nature. So what I like to do when I plan a new science unit is I also like to get my Homeschool Mom binder, and I like to plan out our quarter field trips and different things based on our science unit. So I am going to do that next, and I'll show you guys what's inside here. This is my Homeschool Mom binder. I started keeping it this year. This is a new thing for me. All of these printables that you guys see here are on my website, which is always linked down below. But it just helps me keep track of things. So you can see, like, I have my quarter sheets, and so we're moving into quarter 4, so it's a completely blank slate. I designed these for things that I like to make sure I do in my homeschool, and these just help me stay intentional. So I always have a place for field trip ideas and projects to work on, documentaries to watch, and a lot of times those 3 things correlate almost 100% with the science unit that I'm doing. So I'm gonna sit down and write down my ideas for this before I go upstairs and photocopy these, because when I go upstairs, I will also pull out any books that go with our unit, whether I buy them to go with it or I already had them and I think it might be a good reference book. I'll do both of those things upstairs. So I'm gonna write down field trip ideas that I've thought of after looking through the unit. That's kind of why I like to do that. It's like a 2-for-1. I get to see what the unit covers, and then I get some ideas, and then I like to write those things down for our quarter 4 goals. So that is next for my planning. So I just came up and made all of the photocopies of the worksheets for my kids. I like to hang on to all of these until we get to the lesson and pass them out. I don't like to put them in their science folders ahead of time because then we run the risk of them getting lost or mixed up or misplaced. So I just keep them all inside the binder cover little plastic things. That way when we get to the lesson and I see, you know, the worksheet, I'm able to just pass it out at that time. So I'm gonna go ahead and put those in the binder next. The last thing that I do is I come over to our Homeschool library bookshelf and I pull any books that I think we'll want to reference during the science unit. So I pulled this Encyclopedia of Life. I got this at Costco. I got these from The Good and the Beautiful. They go with this unit, and so I have both of these. And so this is amazing that they print some of the books that go with the unit. So I have those, and then this is a book that I got recently that will go really well with, I think, the first lesson I saw has bees in it. So I pulled these out for us to reference, and then of course if there's anything else that we come across that I want to check out, I can do that from the library. But I'm going to go ahead and write down these titles on the book log so that way I'm keeping track of that. And then that is going to be the end of preparing our new ecosystems unit. Hey guys, that is going to be the end of today's video. It is 1:20 now, so that did take me about an hour start to finish to get science prepared for the rest of the school year. So really not bad when you think about it in terms of, you know, a few months of science study took an hour to prepare, but we are all ready. We are all set. So I will leave a link to The Good and the Beautiful down below. This unit is beautiful. I really love some of the changes that they've made to the newer units. And so if you haven't tried one of the new revised units, I would encourage you to do so. Ecosystems is looking really promising and I'm very excited to teach it. I think it's going to be great. So thank you guys so much for watching. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed today's Prepare With Me video or if you find these helpful. Let me know if you have any questions down below and I will see you guys in my next video really soon. Bye guys.